We're here with Jamie, and we're going to talk to her about a situation at work. My name is Ray Allen, and I'm the coach. She is the coachee. So, Jamie, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing great.
Good.
So, the topic that we were going to discuss is a situation at work.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me about it a little bit?
I can. So I work for Ferrell, and I also work for a hospital. So I report to the CFO at the hospital and to a regional director at Ferrell. I sort of have two bosses. So my current situation is Ferrell is productivity driven. While working for the hospital, they want to focus on accuracy. And being the HM director in the hospital, but still reporting to Ferrell, kind of puts me in the middle of that situation. So there's a policy that we don't agree with because it pushes more towards productivity versus accuracy. And so we're really concerned about the accuracy part of that. There's 3 of us that have brought this up as an issue, and we have been fighting for it for a while now, but we haven't been able to get past our regional director, who just keeps telling us that it's a gold standard policy that can't be changed. And so we're really just trying to push past that to get them to understand that accuracy is more important than productivity sometimes.
Okay. Great. That's a great description on what's going on. So, out of this session, what is your goal to get out of this session?
So my goal would be to try and get next steps on how to approach it with my regional director, maybe get some additional guidance on how I can present it to her in a way that maybe she can find the value in pushing accuracy versus productivity, or either to figure out how to go past her and try and get this to the next level so someone can review it.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm not quite sure where to go with it. We've pushed so hard with our regional, I'm not sure if I need to go over her yet or...
Right. So what do you really want? So what do you think would be a good understanding of how you want this change to happen?
So I have presented putting a team together, a team from hospital directors versus Ferrell directors, so we can all sit down and sort of go through the pros and cons of changing, and then we can present our side from the accuracy point, and then they can present their side from productivity, and see if we can maybe find a gold standard that would suit both of us.
Okay. All right. How would you, I guess, what is required of you to make that change happen?
So I would need to present this to my regional director and get her support, really. Because right now I don't have her support fully.
Okay. So, going through the GROW model, we've established your goals. Now, I'm going to start working towards the reality situation. So it sounds to me that you have some obstacles that you want to try to overcome, and your boss is listening to you, but not willing to get on board quite yet.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe one of the obstacles could be that as she's not paying attention. That's probably not true. She probably is paying attention. She's probably listening. There might be something that she's holding back. So, what are your thoughts about that?
So I definitely agree with that. That's why I tried to present building a team, because when we work in the hospital, sometimes we don't know what's going on at Ferrell. When they work at Ferrell, sometimes they don't know what's going on at the hospital. So I am open to hearing from them why they don't want to change it, or what they see would be the downfall in changing it. So it could be that I don't know everything that's going on. That could definitely be part of it.
Okay. So, what do you think is stopping you?
So stopping me would be fear of, I guess, getting in trouble. So I don't want to go over her because, of course, I don't want her to come back and say that, she's mad at me because I went over her when she was listening to me, supposedly. But at the same time, I want to push what's best for the hospital, too.
Right.
So it's sort of, I guess, like the fear of getting in trouble for going over someone, or the fear of pushing too hard to where I make people mad.
Right. Okay. So now that we will move toward the options portion, it sounds to me like you have some ideas on how you would like to approach this person.
Mm-hmm.
So, how would you like to, moving forward, approach this person so maybe that they'll listen more, or that they'll help you become a change agent?
Right. So, and my option, I could set up a call with her, because right now we've just been through emails with the directors, and then a few of our directors have had conversations with our regional, but I have not had that conversation yet with her. It's just been through email so far. So maybe if I could have that personal one-on-one conversation with her, kind of let her know that's more than one person that's complaining about this situation, and then maybe from there, I don't want to gang up on her, but maybe if the directors who do not agree with this policy could kind of get together and speak with her also to share all of our viewpoints and things.
Do you think this policy has I guess, is this director, is this person have influence over the policy more, or is there a committee that meets maybe yearly or some type of yearly or time fashion?
Mm-hmm.
How is there a way to present that to somebody else, or what are your thoughts about that?
So the policies are pushed out from our corporate headquarters.
Okay.
And there is a way for us to get it to that level, but I feel like I would need to have my regional director and appropriate people above her on board before I pushed it that far.
Okay.
But once I get their approval and authorization, or we come to a good agreement on this is a good policy going forward that will help us with our productivity and our accuracy, then we can take it to that next level.
Okay. So, what else could you think you could do besides just having a frank conversation?
Mm-hmm.
Is there another option, maybe?
So, I've tried speaking with our analysis manager, because the policy is regarding an analysis issue.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've tried talking to the analysis manager. She doesn't seem.
Is that a peer of hers?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I can talk to the director over analysis, which is also a peer of my director's. We're kind of segregated into different groups, so I'm HIM and their analysis, and see if there's a reason why. They keep coming back to me and just saying, well, this is the gold standard, this works for other hospitals, kind of like, why doesn't it work for y'all, I guess. And so we always come back with, well, you're pushing productivity more than you're pushing accuracy, and what's happening is they're leaving off part of their job that they're supposed to be responsible for, and it comes back on us.
Okay.
So trying to talk with the director of analysis, maybe she could get with my director and they could have a conversation too. Maybe speaking with our COO over our company, letting her know that I'm having these conversations with my directors and just kind of bringing her in on the circle. Maybe just to let her know there is an issue. But I'm working with my regional director and with analysis trying to get a solution. So maybe there's some sort of follow-up from her with them.
Okay. So what do you think would happen if you did that? That last option. What do you think would happen if you talk to the peer and try to change it from that angle? So far, I haven't gotten very far with that. They just keep saying, of course, they can't change it. But I'm hopeful that if we keep pushing this and they do realize that it is a large issue for us and it's not going to go away, that eventually we can meet. I would really, I would like to have a group of people get together and talk about it. The pros from our side, the pros from their side, the cons, and then come to a good agreement. And so my last resort would be to involve our COO, because I don't, again, want to go over my regional, but I feel like at the same time, they need to be aware that this is going on so they can follow up and keep my regional following up on this issue and seeing all the different options that are available, because sometimes I think, like with my regional, I think she's afraid of trying to challenge this because so many other hospitals are okay with it versus us that are not.
And so I think she might be afraid to challenge this, or she might not want to go through the effort of challenging it because it's a pretty big process.
Okay.
So I think they're just trying to wait it out and see if we just hush back down
Okay.
to avoid the long process that it would take to get it changed.
Okay. Okay. So of the three options, you said that you were gonna, talk to your boss potentially just one-on-one.
Mm-hmm.
You have a you're trying to go through corporate headquarters for approval,
Mm-hmm.
and then the third option was to talk to a peer.
Mm-hmm.
What option do you think would be your best option here?
So I would start with calling her personally.
Okay.
And really trying to have that one-on-one conversation, trying to see if she understands where I'm coming from or why I'm coming from
Mm-hmm.
that area, and then seeing if she has any insight onto why she wouldn't want to change, like why she wouldn't want to change the policy or things like that.
Right.
Because I'm sure she has reasons for why she doesn't want to push anymore, or why she thinks that we shouldn't try to get the policy changed. I would like to see what she has to say about that.
Okay. So do you feel like that could be your best course of action?
So initially, yes. If she came back and she didn't want to give me any sort of information as to why this wouldn't be a good idea,
Mm-hmm.
then I would try to follow up with our COO and just let her know that this is an issue that I'm trying to work with.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to work with our regional director to get it fixed. And if she had any ideas or thoughts about ways to approach this, maybe with corporate, or if she had any ideas as to why we shouldn't approach it, then I would be open to those ideas.
Okay. So what do you think will happen if you do nothing with this?
So if I do nothing, it will go away and we'll keep, and the brunt of what analysis is not doing will keep falling back on us.
Right. So it seems like it does bother you at some level. So
Mm-hmm.
Of those three options, you said that you were going to potentially call her
Mm-hmm.
or send emails, trying to have maybe some one-on-one conversations and so forth. So what happened? What would happen if you could do something differently with her? It seems like you're going through this conversation and you hit a dead end.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think you could do differently to curb that dead end?
So I could let her know that I'm open to listening to why analysis doesn't want to do this.
Okay.
I'm open to trying some different avenues, I guess. We've tried a few already, but they didn't work so well. So maybe some new avenues, different ways to handle it, maybe that would be same as the policy now, but maybe a little bit more beneficial to kind of get the brunt of it off of HIM and back on analysis.
Okay.
Just let her know that I am open and willing to trying new things and listening to different ideas and opinions on why we can't do this or why we should do this. Just trying to be really open with her instead of directly being like, this isn't working for us, we need to change it now.
Okay. So, if there was was there any time during the career here, was there another situation that you've overcome with your boss that maybe you could apply to this situation?
So, my boss is actually relatively new.
Okay.
So not with this current boss.
Okay.
There have been issues in the past that I have overcome with the company, because I seem to encounter quite a few issues in my company. But and in the past, I have gone to our COO and had those conversations.
Okay. Great. All right. So moving towards the wrap-up portion, let's talk about the main option you have, which is your direct correspondence, or direct communication with your boss. What steps do you think you have to do to get to the goal that you want within the communication to your boss?
Yeah, I need to gather all the information, make sure I know what we have tried in the past that didn't work, make sure that I have the information from the other directors, we're on the same page as to what we want to accomplish. I need to make sure that I have an idea of what a good policy would look like for us.
Okay.
what would be a compromise for, I guess, a win-win for productivity and accuracy, and have everything ready for that conversation and prepared, so that way I can present it in a logical, well-formatted way, to maybe that way she's a little bit more open to looking at changing it.
Great. That's a great great way to handle that. Are there any other, within this particular option, are there any other steps that you think would enable you to have a more crucial conversation?
Yeah, I could try again to speak with analysis, see if they have any options, see if they're willing to work with me, maybe any more than they have in the past. See if they have any options that they would like to present. I definitely recognize that they're coming from a productivity standard versus me, so I definitely want to keep that in mind going forward, that they're push for productivity. So really trying to build that bond back to where we can have a conversation around what would work for both of us.
That's great. That's great. So when are you planning to have this conversation?
So probably tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
if we're not snowed out.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, when you have this conversation with her, are you planning to lay out all of this that we discussed today?
Yeah, so I'll speak with analysis first in the morning, gather my information, and then probably by the afternoon have everything ready to try and have a call with her if she's available. And then if not, I'll get on her calendar as soon as possible. So
that's great. Wow. Okay. So just to wrap up here, on your goal was to have a policy change in your company. The reality was for you to have a good understanding of how to push it. You know there's many obstacles here, and you have three options. You seem to have gravitated more towards the communication with her. And on the wrap up, we have your very specific steps. You want to go talk to the separate group first, and then you want to get on your calendar for actually really recently.
Yeah.
So that's really recent. That's really great. And then you've identified some obstacles, and you want to try to overcome them in a manner where you can become effective. And the next thing would be to potentially write an action plan describing what you're going to do, and then your post, which is after you do all of your communication with her. You might want to do like a write-up potentially, and then that would make it a little more formal potentially. Great.
Yeah.
Great.
That would be great.
So when would you like to meet again to go over any of these directives, and then we can have a follow-up to see how you've done, and keep in touch and let me know how you've done.
Yeah. We can follow up at the end of next week.
Okay.
Hopefully I'll be able to get on her calendar before then, and so then we can follow up and see how it goes.
Great. Well, good luck to you.
Thank
you very much, Jamie.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
Again, this is Jamie, and we are now completed. Thank you.